What would you say is the significance and importance of guys showing up for mandatory minicamp?
Yeah, I think one, it's been awesome how many guys have been here basically this whole time, and this is kind of like the really really fun part where like we're all getting to know each other, like sharing stories. Once the competitive juices start flowing, it really starts ramping up. But this is just like kind of like a dress rehearsal within the dress rehearsal. Everybody's like, you get the jitters going, the juices going, and then whenever we come back, get ready for the season, then it's really ramping up. This is it's a fun and important time. So, yeah.
Tress, as close as you guys were last year, it's just like you can feel everybody anxious to get back. That's a different feeling around here. How's that?
Yeah, that's something that's cool. You know, the friendships and the bonds are always really strong. They always have been here, but I think whenever like last year, how it played out the way that it did, and yeah, everybody just got really tight, and you're in just high stress, high emotion, and I think that's why those bonds become so strong. But it is like, I've never seen dudes just want to smack each other and whip up on each other, but also like be each other's best buds. So it's cool to be a part of that. Yeah.
And what's it been like trying to get Matt kind of acclimated to things and helping him kind of get in tune with this group?
Yeah. It has been a lot of fun. So I would say that Tyler and I are pretty low key in terms of specialists across the NFL, and so I think him coming in, and we played against him for years, and Tyler and I've been in the league a little bit longer than him. I think he's enjoying like the hyper focus, the fun, like keeping it light in meetings, like getting out and going to get a bite to eat or play around the golf together and stuff like that. It's a great luxury to be a part of the specialist crew with guys that you get along with, and Matt fits in great. So
Tress, usually there's plenty of turnover with coaching staffs from year to year, but that's not the case here. The continuity of year one to year two with the same coaching staff, how important is it that, you know, a lot of the players are back, but also the coaching staff remains intact?
Yeah, I as a player, it's not a huge surprise. You know, like with Mr. Harris and the ownership group, AP and DQ, like how they treat everybody, how intentional everything is, the like expectations and the competitiveness. I mean, if you're a competitive dude, it's no wonder why you would just want to stay here and come back here. So it's a huge breath of fresh air, and it also adds a little bit of that, like, wow, I'm gonna go for a big word, familiarity to the whole thing.
I can't say that, but you can.
I went to Oklahoma. I took a long shot there, but it was. I think that's a sweet breath of fresh air. You know, coming back, you want to come out and win as many games as possible, building off of last season, things like that. But when you have that, that's a huge plus. Yeah.
In this type of environment, as a specialist, what are you working on? What are your goals leading up to summer break here?
Yeah, I had the best coverage guys and still have the best coverage guys in the league. And last year I was not as good directionally as like I have been in the past. And I think just kind of pressing and just, you know, like one of those things where, I don't know if you know this, but we didn't punt a lot last year. So when I got out there, like I was like really wanting to go out and make a play or something like that. So it was just trying to like step back and let the game come to me again a little bit and have a lot of fun with it. And that was a fun part of the playoff run, was it was like, who cares how many times like we're punting and getting in a groove out there, let's just go make a play. And so trying to bring that in June is, you know, like a little different animal, but come July and August it'll get going. Yeah.
Tress, a lot of the core players from last year still here, but a lot of new rookies and some free agent signees. When it gets to mandatory camp like that, does the energy level, does the anxiety, do all of those things go up?
Honestly, I think it kind of does the opposite. I remember when OTAs fired up, and man, we must have had everybody close to everybody. We did this great team meeting where guys were kind of sharing their experiences, and the number one thing that all the new guys said was they could not believe how genuine like the welcome was. We broke up into like these little small groups, and Debo Samuel was in mine and Revo's group, and he was just saying like, you kind of hear that, like you're like, oh yeah, everybody gets along there, but then you get in, you got your different groups. He's like, no, everybody, like this is a strong team. And so that's quite a compliment, you know, for like guys that we consider the best players across the league now coming onto our squad, and like the best kids from college coming in as rookies. That's a big deal, man. That stuff really matters.
Hey Tress, so after the season you all had last year, there's a lot of talk about this team in a positive way.
Oh yeah.
And that has not always been the case.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
What is your reaction to that? How are you feeling about all of the positive news and
Yeah.
expectations over
I mean, I think we kind of once everybody saw that number 5 could play some football, I think we kind of lost the element of surprise on anybody. But I think what was really cool was like how DQ like conveys it to us each week on what the fight's going to look like, how long it's going to last. You know, like this is how we're going to go about it, how we think they're going to go about it. I have never been around a coach who does it week to week better than how DQ does it. I mean, you literally forget about like what happened the last week and move on to the next one. And so I'll put my coins with him that will be focused a week at a time. But it is, I'd much rather have a lot of this, like a lot of the excitement or, you know, like the pressure, if you will, or expectations, man, bring those on. Like it's a lot more fun to play that way when you got the whole city behind you. So.
Does Jaden wearing 5, does that make you feel better as good as he's played? Does it make you feel better about not wearing it yourself?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things, like whenever my wife and I were chatting, we had decided, you know, like this is the right thing to do. Let's do it. And I was just like, this would just be so cool, you know, if he's just this household name for a decade or two. Like at about game 4 or 5, my wife looks at me and goes, I think you made the right call. So he's, man, just I can't say it enough. He's special on the field, but that's a good dude off the field too, and just one of the guys. And it's fun to be around him and watch that dude play football.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah, good to see y'all.
Hey, man, appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
Great, blessed.
B-Rob, going into this year, just kind of what level do you need to take up in your own game?
I need to take my level of focus up, you know, a notch or two. You know, definitely it's a big year, you know, not only for me, but for a lot of guys around here too. So, you know, definitely want to take the focus level up, you know, and just stay focused, you know, and get ready for a long season ahead of us. So, step by step, you know, just attack the process and, you know, be ready for everything that comes.
You know, you mentioned it being a big year. Obviously, this is the final year of your rookie contract. You know, I'm sure you love it here. How important is it to kind of put some good tape out there, be you and just kind of grow and evolve as a player here?
I mean, that's been the goal since I stepped foot on this campus. You know, it's just to prove, you know, who I am, you know, to not only just, you know, the program, but to myself. And, you know, biggest year to do that, you know, just to continue to show, you know who I am and, you know, what I'm about. And, you know, I'm excited to, you know, be able to, you know, continue along here and to show, you know, why I'm here and I'm supposed to be here.
Specifically, what have you been kind of focused on working on wise, you know, technique, pass pro? What are you kind of, you know, honing in on over these last couple of months?
Really just staying sharp, you know, everything. You know, I never get comfortable with nothing. Like even the skill sets that I'm best at, you know, I never get comfortable with. You know, constantly working my craft, you know, day in and day out. And the biggest thing for me is just, you know, being available. You know, just being on the field. You know, I think. You know, when I'm healthy and I'm, you know, well, you know, I'm held when I'm well for sure. And you know, the biggest thing for me is just being available. You know, being out there on the field where I can continue to produce. You know, and everything as far as the craft, I'm gonna stay sharp. You know, continue to work. You know, put in the extra time. You know, extra hours in the building, outside the building, whatever I need to do to just stay sharp.
And how much of the success from last year really also helped motivate you, besides for your own personal reasons, to wanting to take another step in your career?
Definitely, you know, just having a great, amazing season like that, you know, you never want to take any moment for granted, you know, and you definitely don't want to miss those moments. You know, you want to be out there, you want to be able to play your best. So I think, you know, just coming off a season like that, we definitely want to capitalize. You know, we don't want to get complacent with it. We want to find ways to grow, you know, with everything, you know, everyone. And I feel like that's been the main focus this whole offseason, is just trying to take that next step so, you know, we could be that Super Bowl caliber team year in and year out.
Brian, what you talk about being available. When you are out there, even coming off the injuries, do you still feel it? Did you feel like yourself enough last year where you felt like you could show all that you could do?
You know, you never really speak on, like, how you feel, you know, when you just, you know, you are just trying to put your body on the line for the team. So, you know, it was multiple times throughout the year, even when I came back from, you know, the injuries, where I was just out there, you know, probably wasn't feeling my best, you know, just was, you know, just coming through for the team and giving everything I had. So that's, you know, things I don't speak on. It's just personal. You know, I just, you know, kind of take that to the chin and just find ways to just keep coming in here to try to get myself feeling better, you know, so that I can, you know, play an extended season.
So in this, obviously, year 2 in the offense, you have, you know, Debo around you, more guys, or different guys in the line and all that. how can that help you as a runner?
Just keeping it spread out. Just keeping the offense versatile, having guys you can move around and you can plug and play everywhere. It's obviously going to help. It's going to help everybody on the offense. It's going to help me in the run game. It's going to help JD in the passing game. And just having a balance throughout the whole offense and having the versatility is going to help all of us eat.
Brian, when you go from this long off season and you move from OTAs into mandatory camp, is there a raised level of energy around here, maybe even anxiety?
Definitely. It's the closer you get to showtime, the more serious it gets. Obviously, day one is not going to look like day 10. It shouldn't. Day 10 should look way more serious, way more advanced than day one. So obviously, going into minicamp, we've been here, for weeks, grinding day in and day out. So at this point, the energy level should be high. Guys should be confident based off the work that we've been putting in for the last 5-6 weeks. And I think it's starting to show now as far as the energy guys have been bringing out here. And, we're just getting better.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it, man.
What's going on? What's going on? Chilling.
Javon, we talked to Daryl Tapp, and he said just what it means to get to work with you again. What is it like to reunite with a coach in that situation?
Well, first and foremost, coming from a guy who actually knows me, pretty well, even outside of the game of football, it's always a beautiful thing, man. Because he kind of knows what to expect from me. He knows what he's getting when it comes to me. And I'm excited for sure because he always brings a lot of juice, a lot of energy, and that's what you need on them dog days, You need somebody that's going to help you out, you know what I mean? So,
Coming into a new team, new environment, do you feel like you have something to prove?
I feel there's always something to prove no matter what. I mean, especially when it comes to myself. That's just the standard that I hold for myself. I'm always trying to prove, the type of player that I am through some of the things that I've been through. That's kind of how I feel about it.
And being, on this D-line, what do you think you're going to add? What do you think you're going to bring to this defensive unit?
Shoot, man, a lot of physicality, for sure.
There's a lot of talk about the culture here, the Commanders' culture. As we come here into the first day of mandatory camp, what are your thoughts on the culture and the energy here?
Man, it's awesome, man. It's a great environment to play the game of football in, starting with Adam Peters and Dan Quinn, two great human beings, and you could tell they built this roster up a special way. It's a bunch of special, unique individuals around this team, and I just love being here. I love that they felt as if I could fit in with the culture, so that must mean I'm a good guy,
Javon, one of the focuses is stopping the run, improving on that area. You've been with some defenses that have been pretty good in that area. What do you feel is the key to being a good run defense?
It's a mindset. It's physicality. That's really all it is. Know your keys, but you got to have the will to not be blocked at all, and that's all it comes down to. And not to, excuse my language, not taking no shit from nobody. And that's what it's all about when it comes to the run game.
How much can it help you? You went out and got Eddie's a big guy. You're a big guy. Dietrich, big strong guy. How much can that help just up front?
Oh, it's going to help a lot for sure. It's just going to really add on to what we already have. So, and I just can't wait to really get in there and mix it up.
All right, thanks, Javon.
Thanks for
So
that.
appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you.
Closer getting? Let's see.
Yeah, do that.
Oh, I'm moving. I think I touched you. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. That's Scott Abraham. He's,
I'm a lovable
regardless
human.
of what Joe Ball says, Scott's a good guy.
That's right.
Thank you.
Oh, Brandon Coleman and Dorrance.
What's up, Brandon?
So how y'all doing?
How you been?
I'm good.
So no longer a rookie. How much more comfortable do you feel from year one to year two?
Pretty good. I mean, you kind of know what's coming. You're expecting a lot of different things. So preparation for these OTAs and this minicamp was pretty cool. Like, I know what I need. I know what I got to kind of work in, where I got to get better at to be able to perform out here.
What is the plan for you? Obviously, you played tackle last year. Do you feel like you're going to kick inside to guard? What are you more comfortable with? What do you want?
Yeah, I mean, right now I've been working a lot of guard. I mean, to be honest, I don't really care where I play. Wherever they need me at is where I work into, and like show that I can play that position. So like I said, right now I'm inside and I'm learning to get comfortable there. Having those tackles, obviously playing tackle helps me a lot to understand different perspectives. Understand the game a lot better.
What can you take from, like, what do you think would make you a good guard? What do you think you would do well?
I mean, I'm a wider body, is what I've heard. Like I was a wider tackle, so obviously, like a lot of people told me I'm a guard build. Long arms always help, having those inside, and as being athletic. You know, a lot of those D tackles are pretty freakishly athletic, even for their size. So being able to kind of match them would be good.
It's early. What can a young player like yourself learn from a Laramie Tunsil?
I mean, basically everything. He's the guy that I watched in college, you know, to work on my tackle technique, and now being able to learn how to fit in like combos as a guard, what he saw in Texas, with Houston when they were playing. Always something to pick up on. I was trying to like pick his brain. We always communicate on the field when we were on the walkthrough. So, I mean, I'll be picking his brain probably all year, trying to get better from him.
First day of mandatory minicamp, is the energy, does that rise for yourself? Do you feel that here in the building?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's really like a rise of energy. I feel like everybody was always excited from the beginning of OTAs till now, and everybody's excited to get to work. There's not really a difference because everybody's already at the peak of wanting to be here, wanting to get better, and that carries all the way through minicamp.
And what's it like going into this season with so much positive, things that I've talked about you guys going into it? Last year was kind of like, who knows what's going to happen? Nobody knew how good Jaden was going to be and how good this team was going to be. But now the expectations are a little bit higher. Do you guys feel that? And like, how do you kind of balance as you get ready for the season?
Yeah, I mean, we already knew there's going to be those expectations. I know personally for me, I mean, it's just what it's going to be. And we knew who we were last year before the season when people were talking all types of stuff about us. We knew who we are now. So it's just about doing the same thing we did last year, sticking true to who we are as a team, how we operate, and just carrying that into the season.
Were you surprised they drafted Connerly?
No, I mean, I really don't pay that much. I don't put much into it. Obviously, I'm always excited to add a piece like that. Someone that is that athletic, I was excited. Just because it's always good to have someone else in the room who's that athletic, can play. He's obviously really smart, has done a great job so far, and I'm just excited to see what he does in training camp.
What about just for the line in general? With Laramie, you're going inside and adding Josh. What kind of line do you think you guys are building here?
I mean, you got great players all across the board. It's not just the O-line. I mean, we've added this whole offseason. This makes me really excited to be able to go out there. Joe's a team, Joe's a unit, and just execute. And just really excited to see how we're going to, develop in training camp and carry that on to week one.
Last one, Nikki. Was the plan to move inside, was that made after Connerly, or was that the plan after the season for you to go to guard?
I mean, it was after they drafted him. I always kept an open mind to where I was going to be at, and I put my full trust in them. I didn't have no feelings towards it. If that's the plan that they have, then I fully trust them with that. And I also told them before in the pre-draft, I think I can play anything they need me to. So they had, they knew that. They put their trust in me to be able to move inside, and I thank them for that, and I'm going to do that.
That's great.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Good seeing you. Thank you.
Next year. All right, planning right now.